Run. Got time for a quick one?
Sure.
All right, you want to do? What do you tell me, Edmund? Let's back out. What do you want to?
Oh, look, wait. I'm the main person now.
Who do you want me to be?
I don't want to be Isaac.
What? Okay. Yeah. Exit.
Go ahead. Can you take back over?
Yeah, but I want you be a. Who do you want to be? Eden?
Well, I mean, I'll come. You go first, and I'll choose after you.
Okay. I'll go Eden. I'll go Eden here. Okay. Okay, come on. Give me something good here, Edmund. Give me something. Ooh, money is power. That is great.
Okay. But look, your item too.
Okay, Void. Great start.
I mean, you're essentially another character plus. Who should I be? All right, let's do this.
Okay. Ooh. All right,
this is gonna be busted.
Let me share the seed because I know people like seeing this. Okay, there you go. All right, let's. So what do you have? Razor? Occam's razor.
I have a dull razor.
Okay.
And tech, which is great. This is great.
So
we're pretty busted already.
So now that Repentance has been out for a little bit, are you happy with the launch? Because I know that you said in the podcast with Ryan, you said you weren't happy with the Bumbo launch and After Birth Plus launch. Are you happy with this one?
Oh yeah, I'm very, very. This is one of the smoothest launches. I think the smoothest launch I've ever. Whoa.
Oh, is everything okay?
Yeah. The smoothest launch I've ever had was probably The End Is Nigh.
Mm-hmm.
And then this. I think this would be incredibly smooth. I'm really happy with it.
And for someone that's not in the business, what made like Bumbo not a good launch?
Bumbo wasn't a good launch because it launched extremely buggy, and there were just a lot of issues overall, which had to do with really crazy crunch. And James, the guy that I worked with, the programmer, kind of like lost his mind after everything kind of caved in on him life-wise. During crunch, it just basically destroyed him. I was very worried about it from the beginning because you never want to feel like, as the person who's like the head of the team, you don't want to feel like you're taking someone and pulling them into their demise. And I think at like the 3-year mark, it was a 4-year cycle. At the 3-year mark, I started to get really worried, and I had a feeling that this might break him. And he kind of got broken during the end of crunch, and then once it launched, he got very broken and just kind of disappeared for a while.
Just because it's a lot of pressure and a lot of work.
Yeah, a lot of work, a lot of pressure, a lot of frustration, just in general. Game development is also very isolating and very lonely. And you got to have a certain personality type to really excel. I don't want to just throw this run away. I got to pay attention.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take it.
When you say crunch, and that's determined by the publisher?
No, it's determined by us. I don't really have I have a publisher for Isaac, but it's not like a real publisher relationship. It's kind of like you do what you're going to do, and then we'll launch it. Oh, there's hearts up here.
And then why the crunch on Bumbo? You're just like, it's been in development too long?
It's been 4 years. It was supposed to be a year-long project. It's like sometimes it feels like unless you set a date, it's just not going to happen. Mm-hmm. And it seemed like a realistic date from the progress that we were making to do it. And you set the date, you lock it down, and I've never really had it completely fall apart when it comes to that sort of stuff. So I thought, we'll be fine. We set a date with Steam, and once you kind of lock that down and you've announced it, it's usually a really bad idea to go back on it. But in hindsight, Bumbo I didn't realize how rough it was until after launch, and I wish I would have just pushed it back instead. But you want to eat this?
Yeah. So I just
wait here. Let me. I'd rather have this. Well, no, I guess there's more combos. Let me poop real quick though. You never know.
Okay.
Oh, okay, eat it.
Just suck this.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
You can. I'll drop the poop later when we get a better item.
So for Bumbo, when it was released, when did you know this isn't what I wanted it to be? Did you know right away? You did?
Yeah, you should eat this too.
Okay, we gotta come back.
I don't know if we'll get enough charges.
And then so you learned something from everything with Bumbo. What did you take away from that project? It's like, okay, hey, look, this was the biggest takeaway that I'm gonna be careful of or learn from in the future. I need that.
Just that usually I'm right when it comes to a lot of stuff, and I have to go with what I know and what I've experienced, and just be forcible with like make sure. Like I should have hired another programmer at the probably 2-year mark. So I didn't break James, but James, asked me, please don't do that. Like, and I didn't want him to take it personally,
Yeah.
I felt bad, and I thought, we'll just do it. But that's kind of what I definitely learned. Like, I knew kind of early in that we needed some help, and I should have just gone with my gut.
Or you kind of went with like the human side to be like, well, I don't want to disappoint this person, or I understand.
I don't want to put them in that.
We're good here. No damage. This is XL, right? So we can get a double deal here, hopefully.
It's possible. No. I think it's possible. Can't remember if it's because it's level 1.
This is XL. Do we have? Yeah, this is XL4. We're okay. Okay, no red heart. No,
guess not.
Okay.
No. Yeah. No. I'll take it.
All right. Ooh.
That's a good one. All right, we can go down here.
Yeah, let's go. What did you think of Spelunky 2? Did you play it much?
I played it. I tested it for quite a while.
Okay.
I love Spelunky. I don't know. I was pretty stressed out during it. So it stressed me out a bit more, and I think I put it down because I felt like I just couldn't do it yet. I'm waiting for it to come out on Switch to dig back into it.
What do you mean you're stressed out with life stuff, or the game was stressing you out?
The life stuff was stressing me out, and the game was making it worse. Too much. I was in development hell as well. So.
And for you,
we went through. I don't know what Danielle told you, but yeah, we've been through the ringer in the past year and a half. Like from the beginning from before her pregnancy till now, it's been total hell.
Like with she just mentioned like you guys were renting and it was.
Yeah, that was the end of it. Like, no, the whole thing started with this is just a downer though to talk about. Danielle got pregnant, and it exploded on her ovary, so she had an ectopic pregnancy that actually almost killed her.
Oh my gosh.
She almost bled to death. We didn't know what was wrong. Whoops.
Ectopic meaning like
it was on an ovary. The baby was attempting to grow in the fallopian tube attached to the ovary, and it bursted both things and then adhered to the ovary and was constantly bleeding. So she had to get that thing taken out, and then she thought, they said, your chances of having another kid are low, and so we decided that we were going to try to have another one just in case. And then she fell down the stairs and broke her feet a few months after that. And that was horrible. She was wheelchair bound for a month. I had to push her around the house.
And you have a little one running around the house too.
Yep.
And you're in development of
a million different things. It was just like this. It just keeps going though. It's like then she did get pregnant and she had a very complicated pregnancy. She was sick the whole way through, and then we had a premature baby, who's great now. She's totally perfect. But that was during the heat of COVID, where no one was allowed to come in and see. It was just me coming in there and no help. And then when we got home after a few days, the fires happened, in California, and we had to evacuate our house for
With a
week.
newborn?
With a newborn. What? Yeah. Oh yeah,
All I heard was
like,
tree fall.
while she was in the hospital. So the whole fires were caused by this lightning storm, this freak lightning storm that came over the Bay Area, and we lived up on the top of a hill. So like we could see this lightning storm just ripping through the forest, just lightning, like insane end of the world looking stuff. And it was while that stuff was like basically happening, before that was happening, there were a lot of windstorms. There was like this precursor to the storm coming in. And that was when Danielle had just given birth and she was in the hospital. I would have to go home to sleep because I can't sleep at a hospital. So I'd sleep, get a few hours of sleep, come back. In the morning, a bunch of trees fell down in front of my house from the wind. And I was stuck there for like half of the day for them to like cut. It was so bad. It was such a death trap. It was such a death trap that we ended up selling it while we were in a hotel. Like we got rid of that house because I just couldn't go back to that during all this stuff.
At some point you had to start laughing, right? Like what else could that
it seemed ridiculous. And like, not to mention the fact that then, you know, the pandemic was happening during all this stuff too.
So what do you credit to coming out the other end like happier and like stable?
Perseverance. it was just a very long waiting process, but I knew we would get there, and things have gotten so much easier now since moving here. And the end of it was that, like what she was talking about, the transition into the rental, which we were staying in because we had sold our house, and the rental wasn't ideal. Do you want this? That's a good one.
Yeah, I'll take it. Okay, nice. So when you say perseverance, like where there's some times you're like just keep going, like what do you tell yourself? Because I mean, like having a family and then when something bad happens is one thing, but having a family and then like having so much stuff go wrong, like what did you do to stay stable?
I couldn't tell you. I have no idea. Like, just we are a very good team, and we've always been a very good team, and we stayed as close together as possible, and we're supporting each other as much as possible, and we're just very realistic about expectations and what we need to what we need to do. Do you want to when we clear this floor, do you want to try to get the key piece?
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, maybe I should have gotten that holy light so I could have propped it with the
with the tech. Yeah,
that would have been smart. Too bad I'm stupid. There's a rock. Oh no, it looked like one. It's not. There's one.
All right, you got it.
Watch out.
I heard you last time. Yeah,
sure. That's not bad.
Hold the door. What does that do?
I'd rather have. Well, you want to grab it? What do you have? You don't have anything. No, you do. You have the blood penny.
What do I?
Forget it. It just lets us out of rooms if we want to get out of the room.
Okay.
Right when we walk in.
I don't care about
How
that.
do you want to do this?
Is there stuff in this game where you're like, I want to take this out, like complete items?
No, I'm not a huge like let's take this out type thing. I'd rather fix it. And that's what I tried to do with a lot of the weird items that people weren't taking for the most part. I tried to fix them. I'm still attempting to now. I'd much rather them stay in, and then this is going to be better, even though you have a lot of life. This is better for you.
You sure?
Because my Tears Up's not going to do that much for me here.
All right. There you go. You take that. Then you take the soulies. Yeah. So like something like door jam, right? Like I guess someone uses it, right?
Yeah.
Is there some?
I mean, I would take it if it was like, if we were really trying to slip through the game. Like it's great in the womb if you want to just slip through. And there are ways to exploit it.
Okay.
I haven't done this on co-op. I'm assuming that we both have to become lost.
Okay. Yeah, let's try it. So like, so you played a little bit of Spelunky too. I mean, clearly, and I know you've talked in the past or even recently about like the second Isaac. Did that and I know you haven't decided anything yet, but has that impacted your thoughts on what a sequel will look like?
It has confirmed a lot of my thoughts because when doing a game like you can stay over rocks, by the way, when as the Lost, just stay over rocks.
Okay, gotcha.
You won't be hurt. I think he did a lot right with Spelunky 2, with not like reinventing the wheel and kind of just remixing the game and adding more. I think that sometimes that is for games that are really iconic and classic and people really like hardcore love. I think that might be the way to go.
And that was what your gut was telling you?
Yeah, I felt like, because I felt like realistically, you don't want to pull a Legend of Zelda 2. It's a bold choice, like I said, but the risk reward is, it's crazy. Like you don't want to. It's like it's either Breath of the Wild or it's Zelda 2. What are you gonna do?
Some people really like Zelda 2, Edmund.
Yeah, some people like eating poo as well. So I don't know.
Chat wants to know, for entertainment purposes only, we're not propagating any violence. Who do you think would win in a hypothetical fight for charity? Fist fight, you or Derek Yu?
You're Derek Yu.
You or Derek Yu. We need to find another bomb.
We have to. Oh, we do. There's probably one in the shop. I'm a lot taller than Derek and bigger.
Okay.
If it's like an MMA fight, I would win. I don't know what his punching skills are, but I'm pretty sure I could beat Derek Yu in a fight.
See, and this is like, I know you a little bit. I picked Derek. You want to know why? And it's not meant to be offensive towards you. I feel like there's like a soft side of you where when it came to like,
where I'm not gonna throw a full punch.
Yeah, you won't throw the knockout blow.
I mean, it's possible. It's possible.
But you would take yourself over Derek Yu in a fight.
Dude, Derek is, I think, a bigger softie than me though when it comes to all this stuff. So I think we'd both just like slap each other around and giggle, roll around on the ground.
We have two of diamonds. Is that good for something?
You could probably, if you Google Edmund McMillen Derek Yu, you could probably see a picture of me holding him like a baby and he has a diaper on.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Can I get some context?
No. There's also if you possibly Google Derek Yu nude. So Derek was a fan of my original game Gish. And he actually sent in a picture of him naked, covering his crotch with a laptop that had Gish on it.
Is that something game designers do on like the back channels of Discord or something?
Yeah, well, back in like the early 2000s when we were having lots of fun, when there was no money to be had and all the camaraderie was perfect. Everybody loved each other. It was amazing.
Would you ever, and I don't know how it works, but if it's too far outside the box, would you ever collaborate with something like that, or is the process too involving where it doesn't make sense to do that?
So Derek and I are. So Derek is like does everything. Derek programs, designs, and whatever, and art, and I do all that, but I don't program. So if we were working on something together, it might be a little difficult because one person. So in a situation like this, and I'll admit that I do this, I am a ball hog when it comes to design. I want to be the lead, or I'm not. I'm catcher or I'm nothing. Like I'm not gonna do it. Like it needs to be my. I'm trying to get better at it. Let's get in there.
Nice.
I'm trying to get better at that, and I think I've gotten better at it, especially with this. I mean, you can ask Vin, but I don't think I was like a total dick when it came to. Do you want this? I feel like I've got a lot of stuff.
What is this? Jurassic Park egg?
Yeah, not great.
Okay. You go right?
Sure.
Chat's saying card. What do I want to do with this card?
Oh, they want you to double your coins.
Well, we're gonna pick up some more coins. You want to try and get it at the same time?
Sure.
3.
Oops. All right.
That works. But you're saying you're like,
I'm not used to analog sticks. I'm used to keyboards.
You're used to your Mad Cats. I understand.
I'm going a little fast here.
But you're saying when design, like you like to be driving the ship.
Yeah, it's harder for me to be invested if not.
Yeah.
But that said, like there are a lot of people like I'm good friends with George Fan as well, and he made Plants vs Zombies, and I would love to work on a game with him. And it's just I'm sure we can make something work out. But yeah, I don't know.
Is it kind of like a thing with too many cooks in the kitchen?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
But maybe it could be amazing. I don't know. Like I worked on Braid with John Blow, and I had no impact on its design, but I did the art and character design and animation originally for it.
I didn't know that. Is that public knowledge?
Yeah.
Are you in the credits?
Of course. I did character design in it in the original animation.
Well, I don't know. Maybe he wanted to like usurp the credits for himself. I don't know.
No. Someone eventually, like David Hellman, took over because I couldn't get. It's pretty funny. So I could have had like a chunk of the Braid money back in the day, and I was doing contract work for John, and I did it because I loved the prototype. I thought it was amazing, and I just wanted to be part of it, and kind of learn. I just wanted to work with John, and we got to a point where he couldn't pay me because he ran out of money, and I couldn't pay the rent. So I was like leaning on it hard, and he was like, I can give you a percentage instead. And I said, I can't do that because I need to fill this gap with work, like it needs to be work. So he ended up hiring David Hellman to kind of redo the stuff that I couldn't do because I couldn't do it. But it's a whatever.
So I don't mean to laugh for percentage of like one of the, best-selling indie games, especially during the time.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I never felt bad to me. I always felt like, what's mine is mine, and what's somebody else's is somebody else's. And this guy's fun.
I didn't know you worked on the guy. That's cool. I didn't.
We got John Blow's a cool dude. I like John a lot. He gets a lot of guff from people, but he's a very kind, gentle, intelligent, and interesting guy.
I feel like as someone who's been involved in TV, I feel like that documentary, you were the most likable in it, and that like a documentary is a documentary, right? You don't see everything, but
yeah,
I think you got a great edit, and some people maybe, but they can't make everyone look good in something like that, Yeah,
I sometimes I wonder. So two people made it, Jamie and Lisanne. They're married, and Jamie, I think, felt a kinship to me, and I sometimes wonder if that's why I was portrayed a little better because I'm sure I said some totally stupid shit like that could have added into the movie, and I was like delirious due to lack of sleep through probably a majority of that movie, and I don't remember much of it. Like I'll watch some of the movie and be like, I don't remember them being in the car with me. I don't remember this scene. I don't remember any of this stuff. You want to grab this though?
Yeah,
I'll take this again. Like I need range. Wait. Okay, we're on the first one, right? We're not.
Yeah, first.
Good. But I mean, who knows?
It never hurts becoming friends with a producer. I think it's probably the.
Well, it's not to say like they loved everyone involved, and I think that they very fairly, and I've had this conversation with them, very fairly portrayed everyone exactly how they are. I'm positive that they had footage of Phil that would made him look a lot worse than he did, and even Tommy as well. Like it's not. I think it was fair. But maybe it's easier for me to say because I didn't come off too bad.
No, that's my take on it. Is like you got to give the producers something to make you in a bad light. You know what I mean, or show you in a bad. Like if you never said anything If you said one thing dumb, then that's on you. But if you go the whole production and you don't, you know, it's kind of a different deal.
I'm sure I said dumb things though.
Where did side note, where did you get the idea to like for the lost oh, I love the left one. It's about one of my favorite items in the game.
You can take it and pass the thing to me.
Yeah.
And I'll eat it.
Okay, so now okay. I love doing it on the items because it's either like it's feast or famine.
I don't think we wanted double poops though.
This is this and soy milk are my favorite items in the game. But But I wanted to ask, so the transition to become lost on the Halloween level. Where did you get that idea from?
The lost in the mirror?
Yeah.
That is actually an old. Oh yeah, he's ours. That's an old design that I wanted to do since the original game, but I never had an appropriate place to do it. I wanted to have a whole zone of the game. So that was the original design for the Lost, and he became a character. In the original game, I wanted to have a whole area that once you pushed into it, it forced you to be the Lost, and there was a bunch of stuff after that you could only experience as the Lost. And I thought it would be this really cool zone that would be unseen for a majority of people, and it could be really exciting to like see all this new content through it. And eventually it felt like a lot of extra work for something that not a lot of people would be able to do, so I just turned it into a character later. And then when we were trying to figure out, so in Anti-Birth, the mod, there were 3 key pieces, and they were all tied to puzzles, and the puzzles were kind of like once you do them once, they're done, and it kind of felt a little funky. And Vin also said that he wasn't a huge fan of them, and he wanted to kind of reinvent them. And I thought they would just work better or more appropriate for the game as challenges, little mini challenges that could also become somewhat exploits. So like the mirror world, you can, if you're bold enough, you can farm the boss as well. You can kill the boss and get a double. You can get another boss item from him if you want to get bold with it. And then this one was kind of last minute, but I'm still really proud of it. It's more of a mood setting challenge, but it's like a Metroid challenge in Metroid where they steal your items and make you scared.
This is a blood pumping challenge. I mean, all right, we got to be on the same page here. Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
The head is actually a play off of Jason's mom's head in Friday the 13th.
Oh.
The video game.
You actually played that?
Yeah, I did. I owned it.
That's like considered one of the worst games of all time, right?
It's not, it is bad, but it does some weirdly innovative things and takes some
nice dodge.
The head is not as bad as you'd think. It might be worse because it's kind of randomly targeting either of us. You gonna grab that?
Yeah.
But you can bait her really, really easy. She used to be harder.
Nice.
Oh, we need a bomb.
Oh, daddy. Okay.
Wait, where?
I think we gotta go south. Gotta go south.
Oh yeah, there it is. I've never seen this one before.
Oh, get us out of here!
You're stuck up there.
Oh, gee.
You got it.
All right. So, what did you like about Friday? Piece.
No! Get out of there!
Okay.
Keep going.
Please. No. How much more? How much? Half a heart, you piece.
Just go. Go.
Oh.
Now you gotta kill a boss. Oh, well, you got a lot of life everywhere.
Oh. Gosh. You said it was a mood changer. You're not wrong.
Yeah, it can be very tense. Well, I don't remember what you were saying
about like what did you like from Friday the 13th the game?
13th?
Yeah.
I liked that there was the protagonist that was like ever present and you didn't know where they were. It was like the first game to do that. Like he could be anywhere and he would appear randomly. Like you had like this mission that you were trying to do, and Jason would just appear, and it was tense in that respect. The bold choice of like doing a hybrid 2D and then first person
yeah.
or over the shoulder thing is really wacky. It was like a really bad version of Punch Out. There's some interesting. It's a very wacky, oddball design, and you don't see that much of that in old games or new games at all anymore. So it's a bad game, but it has elements of it that I think are interesting.
All right, nicely done. Okay, we're not going that way. All right, this is one of our my better runs for sure. We're just staying alive. So, okay, hang in here. Nicely done.
I'm doing like absolutely no damage. I'm helping.
Okay, good. So, it's like, do you feel the story arc to this game is now completely done forever, ever? Like,
yeah, for definitely for this, iteration of it. If I do a sequel, of course, I kept some room to expand, but for this story of the game, yeah, it's definitely concluded. I don't know if you've seen the conclusions, but they're pretty conclusive.
No, I've heard, like, the only thing I've seen is that people are like, the ending is extremely sad. That's what the chat stuff I've seen, but I haven't experienced it yet. So
I'd say elements of it are extremely sad, but it's I think it's a good ending. I think the final ending is hopeful in some ways. Depressingly hopeful, realistic, but hopeful.
And that's what, like, and I know there's a lot of like fans of the lore and stuff of this game. Ooh.
So this isn't bad anymore, and I wish this is a good item now. But that's that. We can always come back for it.
Come back for
kill the boss, and then I'll be back.
Okay. I'm gonna buy this solely though. I just feel like we need it.
Yeah.
Okay. Is this worth 2 bombs, you think?
No.
Oh, okay.
But you don't need more. You don't need more life.
You don't think so?
I mean, you don't need more coins. Sorry, with your life. We have 41 coins.
All right.
Minnie's losing her mind. I don't know if you can hear the baby.
I did. Yeah. How old is she?
She's almost 8 months old.
Oh wow. What do you have? Oh, nice. In terms of
get ready. This guy's a bitch.
Okay. Okay. Star Wars bombs. Nice. Okay. We're good. Hang in here. We can do this. We can do this. Nice. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, Star Wars bombs.
Look out. No.
Okay. Where did that
he's
heart
hard
come from?
because his bombs from you. Bombs do I think it was when you got hit. Bombs do full heart of damage, so this guy is essentially like a womb level boss, which is why he's pretty tough. He actually got nerfed considerably in development compared to how he was originally.
What did you nerf on?
Really hard. Well, the enemies that he used, careful, he's gonna choose a path and go crazy. The enemies that he used to come out with, they used to shoot at you. It was just like, it's way too much going on. There is another trick to him as well. I don't know if I want to spoil anything, but
spoil me. I won't tell anyone.
I don't think it's gonna happen for this run, but so when you kill him, he gets out. He doesn't die. He gets out of his little thing and he runs to a door. Try to kill him. He is killable.
I'm dead. Come on, few more shots.
No, he's dead. He's gone. Just let him go to a door.
Oh, that's what, if you kill him, then he drops something, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you can, you have to have some serious damage.
Okay.
All right, shall we go back?
Yeah, let's go back. All right. So Ed, when you're not working on games and playing Magic, what else do you do for fun?
I watch a lot of movies. I go to the beach a lot.
What do you do at the beach? You go swimming or just chill?
No, we collect sea glass. They call them sea glassers.
And
you know what that is?
I've seen like a movie where like, I think in the Adam Sandler movie they do that, but is it actual glass that's worn down by the sea, or is it something it is?
Yeah.
So, but how do you find it?
You go to places that used to be dumps for the most part. Like, so back in like the 30s through the 40s, I think, maybe in some of the 50s.
Are you feeling lucky? Hold on. Are you feeling lucky?
Why? What are you doing? Oh yeah, go for it.
Okay. Are you feeling lucky again? You feeling lucky again? No?
Sure. Wait, what card is this? Because we could be doing more with. Oh, okay. Damn. Okay.
We'll check the. Oh, they're all the Empress, huh?
They're all the Emperor, so it's the same thing. But we can see what's inside this. So it's.
Feeling lucky?
Just go for it. You can keep doing this.
That's 3 in a row. This is 50-50.
Okay, let me wait. I need this.
Hold on.
Wait, we should be taking some of these.
You feeling lucky?
Go for it.
Oh,
okay. Yeah, that penny's good.
Okay. All right.
Wait, let's see if I can use. I'm gonna use this here and see if it actually works. I haven't seen it used. Oh, it doesn't work.
What?
Finn. I ate the pickaxe, which is a usable item now that comes out and lets you chop at the rocks.
Yeah.
It's kind of a funky one because it's a new item type, which actually deteriorates each time you use it. And I was wondering if it would combo with the void.
Oh, so you throw the knife and it like would destroy all the rocks.
You don't throw it. You take it out and you can slash with it. It's kind of like Forgotten's Bone.
Oh, okay. But you're saying what was the synergy you were hoping would happen?
I was hoping it would just come out and stay out.
Oh, I got it.
But it didn't do anything.
Let's go let's go to Mozzie. So you're talking about sea glass. So what is? Yeah,
sea glass. So yeah, you go to a dump, an old dump, and in the shoreline, like wall where the waves crash, when there's a minus tide, when the tide goes low, you can go out to that tide line, and there will be a bunch of rocks. And if it's a dump, where the rocks would be is a bunch of like sea glass, and it's very reminiscent of any kind of collector's dream where there are rarities for each type of sea glass, each color of sea glass, each shape of sea glass, and it is extremely fun and very addicting. It's like treasure hunting. It feels like that. You basically dig in the sand in that area and dredge up sea glass, and it's super cool.
What's a rare that you're like, oh, if I find this, it's a great day? Like blue triangle,
black like really thick round piece.
Wow,
that'd be like one of the rarest. But you could go even crazier than that, and you could be like like glass eye. I found some dentures that were buffed by the sea, or stuff that has like like the head of a glass sculpture. We have like the legs of a glass sculpture. We have like the torso of a like pottery. What is it called? What's it called? Not pottery, but the ceramic, like all that stuff. It's just kind of nuts. I mean, if you're somebody who collects things, it's pretty insane. Our collection is pretty good.
So it's basically just
marbles. Marbles are really rare. The rarest, I think, the most sought after item that is not impossible to find usually at dumps.
Ooh.
Is a stopper. So an old like bottle stopper. It's like glass bottle stoppers.
Okay. If
I was on webcam, I can dig some up. We haven't unpacked them yet, but I have. It's something I'm very passionate about that not many other people share my passion.
Is there like a secondary market for it? Like people will buy the stuff?
Yeah, they buy it to make jewelry, but I'm not too interested in that aspect of it.
But so there's like a real demand, like people like that stuff.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Over here in Santa Cruz, this is something that crackheads do. So there's a beach. There's a beach in Santa Cruz called Davenport, and Davenport Beach has a stream, like a creek, that comes to the beach, and it flows pretty good. Upstream, since like the 30s, there was a glass blowing factory, and they would intentionally throw the remnants, the garbage from the glass blowing pipe place or whatever, they throw it into the creek, and the creek would bring it all the way down to the beach, and over all those years it would buff these pieces of essentially designer glass to these perfect things. Those pieces of glass go for like 100, 200, 300 bucks a pop.
For a piece of glass?
Yes, for a piece of glass. And the crackheads know this. And if you go to that beach, there will be people there who don't have homes, who live on the beach essentially, who are black as night from being tanned by and weathered by this beach, just wandering around in shorts, putting sea glass in their mouths, walking back up to the parking lot and selling these things for 100 bucks a pop to people who come in and like tourists and stuff like that. You will also see women hire day laborers to come and dig holes at this beach in search of these treasures. I don't go to that beach anymore because it's like people get really competitive there too, and they become total assholes. And then it just feels so farmed. Like people have been farming that beach for so long that it feels like you're not going to find anything at all. But we used to go and we did find stuff back in the day. I'm going to die.
Before it's popular.
All this talk about sea glass makes me want to go there. I miss it.
I mean, that's crazy to me. Like, but can you tell, are there any fake sea glass imitations?
Yeah, you can get a tumbler, but you can tell if you get sea glass, you can tell when something's. Oh, that was a good item too. You can tell when something is a fake, essentially.
What indicates? Oh, we're toasted. What indicates
the grain? You can't buy, like, the only way realistically to tumble glass to make it look like sea glass is it tumbling it with sand, and you would just need to tumble it with sand for forever. The grain on the sea glass is very apparent when you look at it. Like it's like sandpapering something versus like rubbing something with some random sand that's been thrown there for an extended period of time.
So is sea glass like smooth and the other stuff is like sandpapery, or have a little?
No, it's the other way around. Like sea glass is more rough, and then the other stuff looks more buffed, more smooth.
Oh, the fake stuff is buffed.
Yeah.
Oh, that is. Ooh, this saved us. This saved us. Okay. How do we get some hearts here? We want to go.
Oh, you're only getting them through here. Get them through here for getting them at all.
Through Solis?
Up.
Oh, middle one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you have the blood. Wait,
I
you
have
have the blood penny, so you can get half hearts from coins. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
No. One sec, I gotta check and make sure our kitchen's not flooded.
You say making sure our kitchen's not flooded? Oh, we have money equals power.
No, but it is overflowing. But it's overflowing into the overflow. Like it's doing what it's supposed to do. I don't think that's right. Maybe not run it.
What?
Oh, what did I miss? Well.
What?
What happened?
I was simply just blowing up a rock with some spikes in it to go get some red chests. I was unaware the designer of this game made it so when you blow up a spiked rock, the rocks go in the floor.
Yeah. You didn't see those spikes on the ground?
I did after I went over them.
Well, you live and you learn.
Yeah, you live that such as Isaac. Edmund, you've been extremely generous with your time. I appreciate you coming on. It was a lot of fun. Could you do 3 minutes of quick chat questions that I already have preloaded for you?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
of course.
I'm gonna go with the hard hitting one right away. And you know, we haven't held any punches here. This is from Noob Scrub. I wanted to know, how did Guppy die?
In real life?
Yeah.
Cancer.
Okay, there's that answer. Lil Swimmer 1 says, is succubus overrated in your mind?
No, I can see why people like him. He's good.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think that many people are like so hardcore about it. I think there's a handful of people that really like it. It's appropriate.
Jade Tortuga said, if you're at a barbecue and you could only choose one, would you ask for a hot dog or a hamburger?
Well, I don't eat red meat, so I take whatever I can get.
Okay. Okay.
So if they've got chicken or turkey dogs, I'm honestly fine with both.
Okay. And I'm going to ask for your honest answer on this one. Not that you haven't been honest. Ryu is asking, do you actively check reviews of your game on Steam? Why or why not?
I never check the reviews on Steam. Sometimes I'll look at if somebody's saying you're getting review bombed, I'll go and check the average, and just see where it's at to see how crazy the Steam, like people on Steam love to review bomb right now because they really feel like they can manipulate the developer. And it's what the terrible thing about that is that a lot of the time games that may have like made a bold decision or whatever else are looking to see how the community reacts for the most part. And like I said, like watching people play and whatever else, and then retuning. The worst part of that is that some people feel validated. Like they feel like they've complained and now they think that they have power. And that has definitely gone downhill on Steam. So people will review bomb a game just because they want something changed back to the way it was, or they don't like some aspect of the game.
Like mobilizing the community to say, hey.
Yeah. For the most part, I don't negotiate with terrorists when it comes to that sort of thing. But it is a rough situation because it's so, what's the word?
Important to sales in the game.
Yeah, you want to fix the game, but you don't want people to think that they've gotten their way. So it's a hard, you don't want to be a dick and be like, hey, I'm not going to change this, even though I feel like it should be changed because I don't want people to think that they got their way and that they have some say in X, Y, Z. So you got to be careful. You want to maintain your vision. You want to understand why people are having an issue, and you want to fix the issue without doing exactly what they are saying to do.
Got it.
That makes
sense. No, I understand. It's a like slippery slope. I get it. Malfina Starwin wants to know, what new alternate character was the most fun for you to design?
Did that spoil something for you? Because I wasn't trying not to spoil that.
No, I mean, I'll just...
You know about that. Okay.
I'll forget about it 12 hours from
now. They were all really fun to design. Like, going in, we had some basic designs for the characters that embodied kind of what their normal version was about. And I think early in development of those, which was like a year ago, Kane's original design was he had a bag, and he was going to collect projectiles in it and either use them to shoot it back. And we played with the ideas of him using the shots to generate pickups. And Vin suggested, because he should be a resource character, because that kind of embodies what Kane is. Like he's a resource management type character. Mm-hmm. So we wanted to be able to do something like that. And Vin suggested that we make it generate items. And he said that we can make it like a crafting thing. And he thinks that he could make it so you can kind of like make a seed with items that you put in the bag that would control what items it made. And I kind of said, I'll believe it when I see it. And then within a few days it was there. And I was like super blown away. And it kind of raised the bar on the characters. And then we started doing more passes on them of like, what are some more drastic ways we can go with these characters to make them even cooler. And I think for the most part, we did some really crazy shit that I'm super proud of. And they all feel very, very unique. And they were the thing that I was hinting about for ages and being like, nope, you'll understand why the game got pushed back by a year. Once it comes out, like, it'll make a lot of sense. Because not only that, like, we did these alt characters, and then I think originally we were going to have like one item. Like you would have to 100% their checklist, their post-it note, in order to get it their item or whatever else. And then that doesn't feel good. So we added a few more, and it was like 3 unlocks for each. And then it was like, no, we can keep going. So I kept having to come up with like multiple sets of 17 unlocks over and over and over again. And eventually I think they ended up with like 5 for each. So yeah, it was a big undertaking, but it was super worth it. And I don't know how many people have all these things unlocked at this point, but I can tell you that the unlocks for the tainted characters really, like, once you get 100% unlocks, the game is nuts. And you can do some wacky stuff with all those unlocks. They're pretty out there items and pickups.
Next question from Dang Front Dang Seat says, is there anything to your knowledge that has not been discovered in Repentance yet?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, for sure. Okay. Next question is from Atty Tatty says, what's the cool newest tech you've seen introduced in another roguelike recently?
Like design, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Or, like, okay. I haven't played what's that game called? The one that's set in hell that everybody likes.
Hades?
What's it called?
Hades.
Hades. Yeah. I haven't played that yet, but I heard really good things about it. No.
No.
The last thing that really blew me away, design wise in a video game in general, was Baba Is You. And I know it's been a few years since that, but nothing's really come close for me when it comes to like, wow. Like, it was one of those things that was just so impressive when I played it.
Next question from Dopey Dragon. Thoughts on the Hurloon Minotaur?
Hurloon Minotaur?
Yeah.
That's a bad vanilla creature in Magic.
Asterisk
Sucks.
with iconic art? No, you don't.
Yeah, it looks good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a good looking. He got some weird things on his head. Did Anson who made that art? I feel like I know the whatever. Next question.
Yeah, I think you were there. You're close. I can see the name.
Anson Maddox.
Something like that, right?
Anson Maddox. Yeah, I want to say that. My favorite artist back then was Max Tedden was also amazing. I actually have a few cards that are signed by him. But Quentin Hoover he's dead now, so I can't. It's not as easy to get him to sign things anymore. But Quentin Hoover, yeah, that art style is phenomenal. The Suvin Doppelganger is like my favorite Magic art.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a blue card, right? Is it blue?
Yep.
Yeah, I can see it. Are there a lot of? I might be confusing with clone. Are they wearing yellow suits or no?
No, they're wearing blue robes. That's clone. It's two women, and they are like Gemini.
Okay.
They're back to back.
Next one is from Coyote Shambles. What is your single favorite sound effect in Isaac?
Oh yeah, the mulligan. That one.
What sparked the change in the coin noise? Was it just time?
I think we were just updating. We were just updating a lot of stuff. A lot of new sound effects got put in, and a lot of old effects got improved. A lot of those sounds were like random stock sounds that I had. I back in the day, I used to go to Fry's Electronics and get discs that were called 1001 sound effects.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd still use those. I use those even almost now. Like, I'd still go and pilfer those CDs for just random sound effects. I got a lot of use of the page turning sound effect. That's probably been in almost every game I've ever done, and it's still in Isaac now. So that the page turning sound effect that happens when you like are cycling through achievements or unlocks and stuff in the game.
Do you have proper licensing for that?
You get the proper licensing for it when you buy the disc.
How much was the disc? Do you remember?
Cheap. I would say I'd say less than $5.
Oh my god. That's pretty good. Brett Landowski wants to know, what was your inspiration for the meat wheels?
I didn't make those.
You didn't?
No, that's Vin. So the meat wheels were essentially a meme. There was a lot of stuff going in where it was like, okay, this is stuff that existed in the mod, and this is stuff that I think needs to be fixed because it doesn't really work with my aesthetic. And the meat wheels were one of those things, and we would always talk about removing them or changing them, and then they wouldn't get changed, and it just kind of like became a thing where I guess, I guess it's okay. And it's kind of funny that they're there, and I understand why they're funny. My argument was that they don't have a face. I want you to be able to see a face on an enemy so you can kind of feel bad for them in some way. It doesn't humanize them enough. They become more like inanimate objects.
Okay.
And that was why it didn't work as well for me.
Okay. This is heavy, deep lore question that I know this person really wants answered. This from Rafru says, there's a very certain new end cutscene, parentheses, you know what I mean. For you, Edmund, has it been canon all along? Or was it after the fact?
It just depends on what they are assuming that the ending is saying and meaning.
Okay.
But yeah, like everything that's in the game was in the game previously. It just wasn't specifically said. Like the story in Isaac is pretty surface level. Like it's just, you know, a kid who feels like an outcast and is in a bad situation, recedes into his imagination in an attempt to flee, and dies, suffocates in a box. And that's always been the story, and it's still the story for the most part now. And I'm just giving you perspective on the environment. That's kind of what I've been doing, especially with Repentance, kind of giving you more of an idea of who these characters are without specifically giving a backstory. Just giving you little pockets of time and memories and bits and pieces to fill in the gaps.
Do you ever think, I mean, like, do you ever think you'll spell it out for everyone, or are you like leaving it vague?
It can't, I don't know if it can be spelled out because it's not something that's as easy to explain as like, because it's not a traditional story. It's more of like a commentary on a lot of different things in society, and you can't, it's also a pocket of time for me, you know. It's about me growing up. It's so loosely based on these things there's no definitive anything for it. The only definitive thing is just what I said. Like, that's what the game's about, and that's what it's talking about, and everything else is I think the difficulty, don't throw me the phone, Peach, please. I think the difficulty with interpretation comes a lot with the fact that you can't, and even at this point you can't tell when something has happened in game if this is all a figment of the child's vivid imagination or it's based in reality. And that's kind of the fun line that I get to blur with the storytelling in the game, is that, you know, yes, all this stuff is happening, but this is also being translated through the eyes of a 5-year-old child who's obviously very creative.
Okay. I have a question for you. When it goes to, and this, I just have to explain it in the way that I can explain it. When you go into Zelda 2 world of the Omega Mom fight, there's something hanging from the ceiling that's in a bag, and there's 2 things in the bag. What is that?
I don't know. It's rotten though. I think it's too decayed for it to. I don't even know what it is.
You know what I'm talking about? Like the side perspective?
I know.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Is that what it looks like, or is it something else? Or we don't know?
Some sort of organ.
Okay.
That's all I can say.
Okay. All right, 2 more questions. Page 1944 says, hi, Edmund. I'm very new to playing Isaac. What advice would you give to anyone new playing Isaac? Also, I'm loving it.
Honestly, the number one thing to get good at Isaac and learn more and just kind of gain an advantage is understand how the secret rooms are generated. Try to get into those secret rooms and always be on the lookout for the rocks. The rocks with the X's on them.
Rocks
bomb
tinted?
those rocks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then last question. Oh, go ahead.
No, yeah, outside of that, that's basically it.
And last question ties into, you have a Kickstarter coming up, but this is from Moxie Anders, says, in 4 Souls, how do you get your friends to play more aggressively? All of their friends play so passively. Do I need new friends?
Yeah, this is actually an issue that I'm trying to fix with a lot of the designs of the cards in the new expansion. And they basically kind of force people into a more active role. Like they either force people to make enemies or make friends really early on, which is what people play really conservatively, and they'll just kind of like pass their turn and they won't do much, and they don't want to look like they're in the lead, and they don't want to, you know, look like they're playing favors, and they don't want to attack anybody. There's a lot of cards in the new expansion that will kind of force people into those roles. And a good example, though, there's a whole line of cards that actually creatures, when you kill them, you are forced to give somebody else a reward that you get. So you get a reward, but you're also forced. You have to choose somebody else and give them something good. And of course, there's the opposite of that too, where it's going to force you to, like in the early game, or the original game, Satan would, when you killed him, you would have to kill somebody else. That one, wasn't just as common. So I'm trying to make more low-level versions of those that force people into rivalries and also force people into friendships. And it really pushes the game forward. And I also want to make deck lists, because after this Kickstarter, the decks are going to be like 200 cards big at this point. Mm-hmm. I don't think a deck should be more than 100 cards. After 100 cards, it kind of starts falling over and it's impossible to shuffle. So I think I'm going to put up ratios and deck lists that kind of like cater to different play styles. So like if you're doing a first time play, then use this deck list. If you're doing a more cutthroat, crazy game that's more complicated, use this, et cetera, et cetera.
Got it. So speaking of the Kickstarter, now that Repentance is done, it's been like pretty publicly documented. Now your focus is shifting towards this Kickstarter and also Mugenics. Can you talk about the Kickstarter and then also what people can expect from you now that Repentance is done and you can take a minute to breathe?
Yeah. So the Kickstarter will be a mega expansion for Four Souls. It'll be a lot of extras that people had requested, like tokens and that sort of stuff too, and a giant box that everything can go in. And a bunch of fanfare. There's a lot of stuff I got planned for unlocks and social goals and stuff like that. And then the whole other side of it is going to be a Isaac merch Kickstarter. Mm-hmm. That is going to, there's just going to be a shitload of Isaac merchandise, and we're going to try to bring back nearly all the previous like figurines and plush and stuff like that and have them reprinted. So anybody who missed, because a lot of people missed out. A lot of people didn't even know the Kickstarter was active. The only thing that sucks is like at this point, overseas shipping is crazy. It's only getting crazier. So I worry about the cost of shipping for overseas, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I just want to have fun and do another Kickstarter again, because those are usually really entertaining for me.
Okay, so that launches in 54 days, and then now you're back to work on Eugenics. What's the status of that in terms of where you're at and where you hope to be?
Tyler has been working on the engine, and we have a rough cut of basic level play of the game already. I hope to jump back in next week once Pete starts going to school, and we'll just start fleshing it out. Really the mechanics are there. They're really, really good. It is it's hard to explain what it is because it's a hybrid of so many different games, but for the most part, the core of the game is a roguelike adventure Final Fantasy Tactics-like game, with classes, lots of different classes, with lots of different abilities and shitloads of items. So it's like got that Diablo-y, Isaac-y, item obsessed, chaotic feel to it. And then you've got shitload of cats that have different abilities in those, like kind of almost a skill tree set for each of those cats. And then you've got these long adventures that are randomly generated that you go on. And the coolest part of it is that everything is focused on this hub, which is like a home hub where you breed your cats. And it's got this Animal Crossing, almost SimCity-esque aspect to it, where you utilize money and food to continue to pass the day and breed your cats and mutate your cats and fill up your house with a bunch of items that your cats can identify with, and then eventually mutate them into, maybe having eyeballs that are like a cassette tape wheel or whatever.
When you talk about Mugenics, like there's a different like timbre in your voice. You sound like uber fired up about it.
Well, it's fucking cool. It's been really cool for a while, and it's one of those things where I just haven't. It's such an undertaking, and I haven't been able to give all of myself to it for so long. And I feel like, especially once the Kickstarter is over, I have nothing else on my plate, and I can really, really put my all into this, because for the most part, it's been Tyler working on it and me giving, input. And I want to be able to be back in hardcore, because it has been my dream project for a long time, and I'm glad it exists again, because it was essentially canceled for so long. And, after leaving Team Meat, I'm able to do what I want with it, and I want to do something with it.
So release date summer 2022 confirmed?
Yeah, right. I don't know when it's going to release. I would assume a good 2 years of development at the least.
All right.
It's a big one. It's a monster.
Well, Edmund, you've been super generous with your time, man. This is a lot of fun. Thank you so much for coming on, and congrats on the success of the final DLC, man. It's been a lot of fun to play, and I know a lot of people have enjoyed having you on here.
Thanks for having me. I'm sorry for the noise in the background, and I'm sorry for the rough start.
Oh, it's great, man. But wish you the best of luck, and then we'll be looking forward to the Kickstarter in 54 days, man. Thank you for coming on.
Maybe I can come back on then.
Yeah, we'd love to have you.
All right, take it easy.
All right, see ya.